Okay then, so in this video I'm going to speak a little bit about lapel mics, lavalier mics, clip-on mics, and I'm going to be doing some testing of one in particular for myself, but I thought while I was testing it I would speak a bit about it because there is a lot of interest in audio and camera equipment. Now, first of all, when you purchase or use a lapel mic, you will have two different types. Now, the first, this is a 3.5mm jack, as they call it. Now, if you notice, that one there has got one black line there. That means it's a mono. So when you record with this particular lapel mic, it will only sort of record to one side, to one ear. Another type is this, and that's got two black lines. This is basically talking now, and that means it's a stereo, so it'll record to both ears. This is the this particular one is the one I'm using today. This one here, lapel mic, good one. It's quite an expensive one, that. But this one with a single is quite an inexpensive one, and it comes like that. I've used it many times, and there is ways of making mono into stereo by doubling the tracks. I may do a separate video on how to do that if there's enough interest in it. Now again, there's several ways of recording to the lapel mic or from the lapel mic. Some cameras have an audio jack plug in them, so you would just clip on the mic and then plug the jack straight into the onboard socket. But the way I do it is I use an audio recorder, and this particular one is a Zoom H1, and there's all manual settings on it. As you can see, that's the microphone input socket, and that is the external microphone input socket, and that's where you would put the lapel mic, like so. Now, an important thing to do, especially if you're recording outside, is firstly, this is just a little tip I do, put some headphones on, plug them in, then plug your lapel mic in as well, switch this on, and then listen, plug it, put it onto yourself, and then alter. I'll just show you here, there's buttons here, it's difficult to see there, them buttons there are the input record level, and what that means is it sort of increases the sensitivity of the mic, so you can bring it up or bring it down. Now what you will find is the more expensive, or tend to find normally, the more expensive the lapel mic, the less you can reduce this more and get a much clearer sound with less background white noise hiss, which you may do with a cheaper one. Not all, but some. So get your levels right first, plug it in, place it where you want it, get your audio, get the input level right, and when you're happy you can take this off, and then when you go out, this particular recorder remembers it'll stay on that input record level you've set it at, and then you would just have to go out, then plug your mic in, switch on, press record, put it in your pocket and start doing your piece to camera. Very important thing though, as you're recording to the camera in the beginning, so you can see it in the shot, just go like that. Now, or if you're posh, you'll have a clapperboard. But when you come to editing, then you'll see a peak on the audio from the lapel mic, and you'll see a peak on the audio from the camera's mic, and all you got to do is sync them right together, and then the audio will sync up. That's how you sync the audio, when you record it separately. And I could go into much detail with microphones, lapel mics, recording equipment, but I'm not going to bore the pants off people. So in this particular video as I say, I'm going to be testing a microphone, but I thought I'd have a bit of a chat about it as well. I'm using a Zoom H1 audio recorder. Fantastic recorder on its own. It's got the cross configuration XY mics there, and it's a good field recorder. You can speak, you know, it comes with this one comes with one of these wind muffs, and you can do all sorts of things. You can mount it to a tripod there. It runs off an AA battery. Fantastic, lasts and lasts and lasts. And as I say, you can alter the record. There's a low cut noise off and on, auto level off and on. I have it on off. I do the auto, if you remember, the record levels myself. Otherwise it'll start to jump up and down what it thinks is right, and you don't want that in a recording. It sounds very unprofessional. And you can also record in 2 audio formats, WAV, which is high quality, and MP3. And as I say, that's the recorder I'm using. This is the mic I'm using. It's a stereo, so I don't need to alter anything like that after, and I just have to sync it up and put the sound. So what we'll do now, and I'll just say before we do, Audacity is a good software which is free to download, Audacity, and that you can make mono tracks into stereo. If you've only got the one black line there, you can alter the background noise, you can take the hiss out of it, you can do all sorts with it. I may do that in other videos in the future, but this particular one is just testing this lapel mic and give you an idea what the lapel mic does, you know, how it sounds. So now we'll head outside, because I think it's best to do it outside, and we'll test this mic and see what you think. Okay, so we've come outside, and I've wired the mic up, and we're all ready to go. So you're hearing me now off the camera's own microphones, and we will now switch. And now you're hearing me from the lapel mic, so you can tell the difference and what the lapel mic does, lavalier mic, whatever you want to call it. Gives a closer to the subject sound and quality. And we'll go back to the camera. So as you can tell, you can hear the surrounding area and all that sort of thing. But we'll go back now to the lavalier, and it just gives you an idea of what the lapel mic does and what it sounds like. And all you've got to do then is sync the sound up. So when you switch this onto record, in front of the camera, so you can sync the audio and then delete the audio off the camera. So that's it. Hope this was helpful to some people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.